Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm really excited because I'm sharing with you guys my first ever bullet journal. Now if you guys don't know what bullet journaling is, I'll link below a video that explains exactly what it is and why people do it. So with that being said, I will say I don't think bullet journaling is for everyone because it can be quite time consuming, but if you're someone with extra time in your hands or if you find drawing and writing to be something very relaxing, then I think you will really benefit from bullet journaling to help organize your life. So I'm going to get started by showing you guys some of my supplies. First up is the notebook that I use for my bullet journal. This is the Leuchtturm 1917 A5 hardcover with dotted pages. I find that a lot of people use dotted pages because the dots kind of act as a guide, which I found to be really helpful in making straight lines. As for writing materials, I don't know about you, but I am extremely picky about my pens, and these Micron pens are the bomb. So I have the 01 and the 05. 01 is a thinner pen, so I like using this for just normal handwriting, and for borders or just thicker lines in general or titles and headers, I like to use the 05. My favorite thing about these Micron pens is that they dry extremely fast and they also write really smoothly. And here's just a up-close look at how the pens look. Here's another pen that I really like, and it's the Pilot Multi-Ball, and I believe it's in 0.5. I'm not 100% sure. I love this pen, but I found that it's not very suitable for my bullet journal because it tends to bleed through the pages. But if you have a notebook that is thicker, I think this pen is great and writes really well. I'm trying to get into drawing, and this is the first pencil I picked up. It's not my favorite. I feel like it's a little bit too sharp, so I'm going to look for another one, but for now this works. It's the Otto Sharp pencil, and it's a mechanical pencil. Next up are my drawing materials. Now, I'm just now getting into drawing, so I truly am not a professional, and I just picked these up because they caught my eye. It's the Tombow dual brush pens, and I really like these because they're dual-ended. You have a brush on one side and kind of like a pen on the other. I've been using these for headers and just highlighting. Since I'm starting with my bullet journal, I got really inspired by a lot of watercolor artists. I have no experience in watercolor whatsoever. I just looked this up on Amazon and this seemed to be a good starter kit. So I picked this up and I've used it once and I am in love. It's so easy to use and it just kind of reminds me of painting when you were a kid. It's really small and has most of the colors that I need, and I've just been having so much fun painting with these. Like I said, since I just started off with painting and drawing, I did not want to spend too much money on supplies. I just found this very basic set of brushes on Amazon and they are working pretty well so far. So here I have some other supplies that help my bullet journaling process. First up, I have washi tape. I think everyone loves washi tape. Washi tape is great. It's so easy to remove and it just decorates your paper nicely, and they're quite inexpensive. So the ones I have here are mostly from Target, I believe. Besides the one all the way to the right, I got that one at a stationery store when I was traveling in Hong Kong, but you can find washi tape pretty much anywhere. Next up, I have my rulers. This is pretty self-explanatory. Rulers are crucial in bullet journaling. And I also have some glue. Sometimes I will use double-sided tape and sometimes I'll use my glue stick. It just depends on my mood. And of course, cannot forget the eraser in case you make any little mistakes. Speaking of mistakes, I also have my whiteout. I use my whiteout whenever I make a mistake with my pen, which actually happens pretty often and sometimes drives me crazy, but I'm learning to just let it go and not be such a perfectionist. And I also keep scissors with me. I don't tend to use these scissors very much now because I got a really great tool that I'm about to show you guys right now. This is the Fiskar cutting board. Girl, get yourself one of these. It will just make cutting so much easier. I love the grid. It just helps me get a nice straight cut. And lastly, for my supplies, I have some paper clips. I got these from Target. I think this jar was $5 to have a mixture of white, black, and gold. And these are just really useful in clipping images or just keeping my pages flat. And now, finally, the fun part. Let's go ahead and start flipping through my journal. Starting with the first page is my key page. As you can see, I have my task, completed, cancel, and migrated symbols. I also just taped a wildflower, dry flower on the page just to give it that minimalist and earthy look. And I really like how this first page turned out. Second page, I have my year in review or year at a glance pages. Because I'm starting mid-year, I have 2018 and 2019 here. Next up, I have my future log. So as you can see here, I have a painting that I painted on a separate piece of paper and I just taped on because I actually messed up. I did not like the way future log wrote out on this page. I just did not like my handwriting. So to save it, I just drew an image and pasted that on. So your future log is basically where you would document anything that's going to happen in the future, such as birthdays or maybe events that you know that will be coming up. This is where you will be writing it down. So on the bottom you can see I wrote down the year because again I'm doing 2 years here, and I just kind of did like a color coding situation. So for 2018 the header was in black, and for 2019 the header is in brown. Right after my future log, I have my tracker and travel page. So my tracker page is where I will basically track down my growth on YouTube or my social accounts. And under travel is places that I want to go and also places I've traveled to. So at the end of the year, I can kind of reflect and see where I've been. And the next few pages are just blank because I'm still thinking about exactly what I want to put here. I know a lot of people have many different pages for different purposes, but as for me, because I'm just now getting into this, I'm not really sure what is the most effective for me. So I just went ahead and left these pages blank, and I'll get back to them later. Alright guys, so now let's show you guys my September spread. I do apologize that this video is going up in mid-September. I actually filmed this in early September, but a few things got in the way and I was not able to upload this sooner, but I promise I'll be on top of it next month. Okay, so now let's get planning. The first page I have here, I have already outlined everything in pencil. I just find that this way I can really plan out exactly how I want my bullet journal to be, and it's just a lot easier and more foolproof because you can erase whatever you mess up. It's pretty crazy to me that fall is just around the corner. For me, since I'm living in LA, it still feels like summer is in full force right now. So because I'm trying to ease my way into the fall vibes, I went on Pinterest and I printed these images. I just looked up fall inspo and these really cute pictures showed up, and I just printed them out, cut it with my Fiskars cutting board, and I'll be pasting these into my September spread. To start off, I'm taking my Micron 05 pen and I'm outlining what I already have written down with my pencil. So here I'm using the 05 pen because I'm doing my header and I just want it to be a thicker line. So here's where the ruler and the dotted pages come in really handy. I'm just lining it up and drawing a straight line. Next, I am taking the images that I printed earlier and I'm just going to arrange them on the page just to see what looks nice. And once I have a layout figured out, I'm gluing it down with my glue stick. On this page, I wanted to list out my monthly goal. So here I'm taking my dual brush pen in black and I'm outlining what I already have written down in pencil. So this month I really wanted to get into aerial silks. It's just something I've wanted to do for a really long time. I've always thought it was so cool that people can be so athletic just hanging on these aerial hammocks, and I finally did it. I had a personal private class and I really enjoyed it. I also filmed it, so be on the lookout for my video of me trying aerial silks for the first time. I also wanted to make it a goal to shoot more home photos. When I first got the house about a year ago, I told myself I would document document the process a lot, but turns out I have not. Every time there's a milestone or a thing that happens in the house, I kind of just celebrate it to myself and I don't take a photo of it. I'm just someone that really likes taking pictures, so I hope that this month I can take more photos of the house to document its progress. So the next page you're gonna see here is my monthly calendar, except just blown up. So I like to see the month just in one full page so that I can plan ahead. I don't know why, but this is very helpful to me. So again, I am just taking my Micron 05 pen to outline my header, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add in the lines, fill in the numbers, and this will act as my monthly calendar. Also, any of you struggle with cursive? Because I am struggling hard. Cursive is just something that I never really touched on. I remember learning it in like elementary school, but I thought it was so hard and I just gave up on it. So nowadays, I'm trying to really get into perfecting my cursive, so just bear with my ugly handwriting for now. Next up, I have my weekly calendar. So as you can see, I decided to go with this rectangle layout. I just find that having these boxes just make the page look really uniformed and organized. I also like to write a lot, so I thought this layout would work best. And so far, I've been really enjoying it. So here I'm taking my Micron 05 pen, pretty much the same thing you guys have been seeing throughout this video. I'm doing my outline with the 05 and then my actual just handwriting in 01. So now that I have all the pages already laid out, I'm going to go ahead and go back in with some watercolor just to spice up the pages a little more. So this was actually my first time using watercolor inside this notebook. I wasn't really sure what to expect when using watercolor in these pages. I was worried that it was going to wrinkle, which it wrinkled a little bit, but I kind of liked the texture it added to the pages. And like I said, I am new to this. I actually have never really worked with watercolor prior to this, so all of this is super new and I'm just learning along the way. So I actually did not really love how it turned out on these pages, but I just decided to let it go. You live and you learn. And I think a lot of people don't get into bullet journaling because they're too hard on themselves. They think, oh, my handwriting's not pretty enough, or I can't draw very well. And for those reasons, a lot of people stop themselves. But I think what's most important is that you enjoy the process of it. I know that's really cheesy, but when I started to get into bullet journaling, I found so much peace and quiet just sitting down, playing a relaxing, nice playlist and just drawing away. So really enjoy the process. Even if you're not 100% happy with how your pages turn out, it's totally okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my first ever bullet journal entry. I had so much fun filming this video. It was definitely something new for me, and I hope to continue this for as long as I possibly can. I know a lot of people kind of fall off throughout the months because sometimes you get too busy, but I hope that I can really implement this into my routine because it was really relaxing for me to have this, and I just really had so much fun with it. And yeah, I think that's about it. If you guys have any advice for me, please feel free to comment it down below. If you would like to see more angles of my journal, let me know. This is my first time filming this video, so I wasn't really sure what to do with it. Hopefully you guys can see everything clearly and that this video was helpful or just relaxing to watch. And I will see you all in my next video. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. I love you guys and take care. Bye.